A few days ago, I sat down and filmed a How to Be Successful in 2019 video. Looking back on it, it didn't feel anything like me. It felt forced, it felt staged, and so I thought I would make this video a little more personal and share some clips of me throughout the years that have helped shape me into who I am today. Along the way, I'll be sharing some tips that I've learned throughout the years, and hopefully you'll find them helpful.
Tip number 1, set routines, set alarms. So my job doesn't let me go to sleep at the same time every day, but I do set an alarm so I wake up at the same time every single day. That way that I know I'm being productive and I'm getting as much out of my day as I can. Because I do work late, I would wake up at like 12 p.m. and my entire morning would be gone. But once I started setting alarms, I started waking up at the same time, started not feeling as groggy throughout the day, and I started actually getting things done. Tip number 2, you need to plan out your days, your weeks, your months, in one of these bad boys. Get a planner. I know they're really nerdy. Mine's really big, but it's aesthetically pleasing. A lot cuter than the ones we used to get in high school. Get one. Write down what you want to do for the week. Write down what you want to do for the day, for the month, whatever. Just write it down. Make sure you hit it all. Because that way you're going to be able to keep yourself accountable and know what you did and know what you didn't do. And the more you do that, the more you're going to be better at being like on your shit. So, get your shit together, be a nerd, it's okay, you're not that cool, I promise. I'm definitely not that cool. Do you see the Pokemon behind me? Yeah, no. So, get a planner, write your shit down, you'll be more productive. Tip number 3, go to the gym and or personal maintenance. I cannot stress enough how much getting active and taking care of yourself makes you feel better about yourself. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm like a freaking fitness connoisseur, a fitness model, but when I started working out regularly, I work out like 5 times a week, I started feeling happier. You release endorphins, you feel good about yourself, and you don't feel like you're just like, you feel like a sack of potatoes just sitting there doing nothing. Like, you feel good about yourself after you're done. It sucks, let me tell you. Working out sucks while you're doing it because it's hard. It's not easy. It shouldn't be easy. But afterwards, you're gonna feel better about yourself. Also, honestly, get ready for your day. Like, if you do your makeup and your hair, like, I'm not saying you gotta go all out like me, but like, if you like pull yourself together a little bit, you will be more confident and you will feel like you are doing better. Tip number 4, spend time alone. Spend time with yourself. You don't always have to be the life of the party. You don't always have to be going out all the time, doing something constantly, like being with someone. It's good to be alone. I personally take more alone time than most people, but because of that, I feel like I am more comfortable with myself. Like, I spend time in my house, I'll read my books, I don't know, watch a movie by myself and like do a face mask, or like I'll go to dinner by myself. Like, you need to be able to spend time with yourself. By doing that, you'll become more like confident in who you are, and you'll like figure out yourself more, and then that way you can like be okay with being alone and realize that you don't need to depend on someone else to be happy. Like, you can be happy on your own, and that's a big thing for me, especially this year. I live by myself and like I do everything alone most of the time, and because of that, I have become more comfortable with being myself. Like, I don't feel the need to like constantly need someone's reassurance to tell me that I'm doing okay. Tip number 5, set goals for your months. Like, set monthly goals. Like, everyone's got like a big goal, and that's really daunting if you just are like, oh, one day I want to be a millionaire. How are you gonna get there? You're like, I don't know. Set monthly goals. Like, for the first month, maybe start an idea for like a startup company, and then after that, like, set goals after that for the following month so that you work up to that goal of being a millionaire or something like that. Whatever your goal is, set monthly goals that are going to help you get to that big, daunting end goal. Because if you just have an end goal and you have no plan on how to get there, you're never going to get there. You're just going to go in circles, and you're going to be like, oh, I want to do this, but like, I don't know where to start. Set smaller goals and work towards that big goal. It's going to help you in the long run, and it's going to also keep you motivated. I cannot tell you enough how like much more motivated I felt when I was like, okay, this month I'm gonna hit this goal, and this month I'm gonna hit this one and this one and that. You will always have something to work towards. It makes you motivated, it makes you want to keep going. Tip number 6. Make time for things that you enjoy. Have like a balance between work life. So like my coworkers always tell me that I work too much, and I definitely do. But you need to you need to make time for things that you like. Like I make sure to like have days where I film. Like I love making YouTube videos. That is my hobby. So I make sure that I make time for that, or I make sure that I make time to go to the gym, or I make sure that I make time to read, or things like play video games. I don't know, whatever you want, whatever your hobby is, make sure you make time for those things and you don't just work all the time, because then you will burn out. You need to be able to have that balance between work and like pleasure. Tip number 7. I almost did 6. I can't count. Okay. Tip number 7. Control your mind or it will control you. Make sure that you start each day with a positive attitude. You know, I was just really sick and tired of being sad all the time. And so I'm done. Just make sure every day you start fresh. Every day is a new day, and if you wake up in a bad mood because of something that happened the night before that you can no longer control, if it already happened, then you're gonna be in a bad mood for a couple of days, and then it's just gonna keep going, and you're gonna be in a bad mood for like a week and then a month, and then it's just gonna be a cycle, a toxic cycle. Make sure you start each day with a positive attitude. I struggle with that sometimes because I do have issues with depression and anxiety. And filming those last few videos are what caused me to actually take a break from YouTube, because I had a couple of my friends watch my last upload and they were just like, Diana, you look like you're gonna cry in between all of your shots. And that's because I didn't really edit that video too much, because I wanted it to be kind of like a you and me having a nice little friend-on-friend chat kind of vibe, you know what I'm saying? And that kind of backfired, because I watched it back too and I was like, oh girl, you are not yourself. You look like you're gonna cry, you are sad, and oh man, that is not the vibe you want to be putting out there on YouTube. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna focus on myself and get my life back in order, and that's what I did. So that's something that I personally have been working on. Let me throw some knowledge at you right now. If you hold a pencil in your mouth, like so, like this, if you do that for like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, do it while you're driving, you will be in a better mood because you're smiling. Yeah, it's that easy. It's called like the facial feedback hypothesis. Because you're smiling, even though it's fake, you'll be in a better mood. So like that's like the idea. Like if you start each day thinking you're gonna be in a good mood and thinking like I'm gonna have a good day, you'll have a good day. It's control your mind. Don't let your mind control you. Like don't dwell on things. Just make sure that you like do your best every day and that you're in a positive mood every day, and it will radiate throughout your day and you will have a good day. Tip number 8. Make sure that you make time for your friends and family. Obviously, one of my tips was to spend time alone, but you don't want to isolate yourself either. Go have a girls' night, or go visit your mom, go visit your dad if you have, like if you live alone. Like me, like I visit my parents like at least once a week. They live down the street, why not? It helps to keep you grounded and reminds you that you have people that care about you in your life. Make time for people that are important for you. Tip number 9. Be kind. I don't know when this whole like savage trend started, but it's not cute. Be kind. Positivity is contagious, and like don't be like overly like don't be like fake, like don't be overly nice. You don't have to be everyone's friend, but just like don't be rude. If you don't get along with that person, be cordial with them. Ask them if they need help. Ask them if you can do anything for them. If they say no, okay. You don't have to be offended, you don't have to be rude about it, just move on with your day. Little things, they'll remember that. People appreciate when you're kind to them. Even if everyone else thinks they're the meanest person on the planet, people will appreciate your kindness and they will reciprocate that. Maybe not immediately, but eventually it will happen. Just make sure that you're kind to everyone. There's no need to be rude. This whole savage trend's gotta go. I'm over it. Just be nice to people. Tip number 10, the last and the most important thing that I've learned this year is that if a situation, whether it's work, a certain class you're taking or something, or a person, if a situation or a person no longer benefits you positively, it's okay to walk away. Just because you've been at that job for years and years, or you've known someone for years and years, if they are no longer a positive influence on you, you don't need to keep them in your life. Don't be rude, you're not mad at them. Remember that, you're not mad. It's not a big deal, you don't have to make it into this whole big dramatic blowout. Like, it's not about that. It's not about being dramatic and being like, I don't need you in my life anymore. Like, no. Like, it's about you growing as a person. Sometimes you need to leave a job for a better job. Sometimes you need to grow apart from someone and because you no longer see eye to eye in like the sense that like you're trying to achieve something and they don't really see that, or they're not supportive of it. Like, doesn't mean you can't be friends with that person later on. Doesn't mean you have to like have a big blowout at your old job because you're like, oh, you guys are all sucking, blah blah blah. Like, it doesn't have to be about that. It's not an angry thing. We're not trying to be angry. We're trying to improve ourselves. It's about you growing, and maybe that means growing apart from either like an old job or an old friend or something like that, and that's just part of the process, and that's something that I've come to accept and come to learn, and it's really helped me, honestly. Like, people have noticed that my mood has literally skyrocketed ever since I've started like trying to like surround myself with positive people and people that are just only there to support me and are not there to like tear me down or like make fun of what I'm trying to do, like whether it's YouTube or like my goals or anything like that. I just made sure to like surround myself with people who care about me and that love me and just want to see me succeed and aren't trying to like compete with me, you know, like they're not gonna like put me down when like I do good at something. So just make sure that you surround yourself with positive people and walk away from anything that's impacting you negatively, even if it's hard, and just make sure that you don't do it out of anger. You do it to benefit you and for your own personal growth. Well, that's my last tip for you guys. I hope you found these tips helpful, and I hope that maybe they weren't too rambly or too preachy and that you appreciated them. Let me know what you guys think down below. I hope you guys have a great 2019. I feel like 2019 is going to be a good year. 2018's got to go. I feel like a lot of bad things happened to a lot of people in 2018, so it's time to put that all behind us and move forward and make 2019 a good year. And yeah, so I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, if you watched this whole video, because I know it's really long. And I will see you guys in my next one. Love you. Bye!